Welcome to my Hebrew channel, Miel Hebraic. I'm looking at Psalm 37, the section on Ayin. Psalm 37 is an acrostic, and each section begins with a different letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Now, there's a problem here, and we have to state it right up front. A couple of things happening. As you notice, Ayin comes halfway through verse 28. And so Ayin in this case is not really starting a part of a literary piece. In other words, a section of the text is halfway through the portion of the text that we're looking at. And not just that, it also has a lamed in front of it. You can go, whoa. A couple of things would say, oh, what happened? Did the acrostic get canceled just because at this point we're beginning with the lamed rather than an ayin? The ayin's still there. Okay, just a little hidden, just a little bit of a special case. We'll see a little bit of that way at the end with tau. I still can't really tell whether I think still it was part of the original way of writing the text because this is what David wanted to say. And so even if he has to hide his ayin inside of a word, fine, we'll accept that. It's still part of the acrostic. It's still there. Okay? It hasn't gone anywhere. It's just inside an agglutinated word. So let's get to it. So, and this is then 28b, started at 28a, goes all the way over to here. And then le'olam. So this is the ayin right here, le'olam. We've seen olam also in the previous 27. That's they live forever. And this one's le'olam shemaru, and forever they are guarded. Now, who is guarded? It's the previous group that's mentioned here under direct object marker here. Hasidav, the merciful ones, the righteous ones, the merciful ones. They forever le'olam, and then here you'd say, okay, well, hey, this section began with a lamed. Actually, what we're looking at is the ayin. Okay, it's the second letter in here. And we do see it reinforced throughout the section, also with ad and aliyah, and so it's not that it's just all there by itself, but it's there. So le'olam, and forever. Incidentally, if you're looking in the Psalms, all of the olams are prefixed with a lamed, and that's the way it is in the Psalms. If you want a barit olam or something like that, you want something that where the olam is standing by itself, you'll have to look back to the Torah, and then you will find olam standing just with starting out with an ayin. Although every single time it will be a definition for something else. So in other words, this is something. It's a covenant forever, or something happens forever and ever. So yeah, olam. Incidentally, this your guides, in other words, your grammatical guides will tell you this is a noun. Yes, it is. It's a noun, but it's a noun used very much in this case as a adverbial. In other words, how long is this guarding going to last? It's going to last forever, for eternity. Okay, so the for would be la, and then however, forever, and for eternity. So olam, and so it defines the timeline here of nishmeru. Okay? So it lasts forever. In other words, the guarding, the protection. Shomeru is the verb, the plural verb of shomer, and shomerim are the guards. The guards of the city are called shomerim. So if you have it as a noun, it's the guard, and then if you have it as a verb, it's being guarding. And this is a nifel, so this is a passive. They are being guarded. In other words, and we'll also see another nifel here, nekarat. They are cut off. He is cut off. So, but here we have nishmeru. They are guarded. Incidentally, I was checking it out, and it can be a little bit hard to separate the first person plural of nun and the nifel. Here's a nifel. And by the way, the Mashra does a lot of help here by putting a nice little hirik underneath it to remind us it's a nifel. Nishmeru are guarded. Those are the hash Shadav, the Hashidav are guarded. Ve, Zera, and the seed. This is a single seed. The Interlinear Translation puts it in as children, but it is the seed or descendants. The descendants or the inheritance, the seed of the ones that branch out from the Rosh Haim. Okay, we'll see these guys again. This is sort of a standard. I didn't check it out 4 or 5 times now, also in our psalm. We've seen it as a singular, we've seen it also as a plural, and here it's a plural. Rishaim, the evil ones, the wicked ones, plural. That's a Yod Mem is a nice masculine plural on the end of this set of bad guys. So Rishaim, the evil ones, the bad guys, the wicked ones. Nikrat are cut off. So this incidentally drops back to a singular, and the reason is that Zera here is a singular. So the seed of the wicked ones is cut off. Karat is to chop away, cut. Again, it is cut off, cut away. Nikrat. This is also a nifl. In other words, the righteous ones are protected, and the evil ones are cut off, chopped away. And here, Siluk Sof Pasuk, so this begins verse 28, 29 starts here then. Sadik, incidentally, you have to be awake here, you have to be looking closely. The Dalet is formed well enough to keep it separate from any other resh that might be in the neighborhood here. But Sadikim, the righteous ones, Here's the plural, again, Hirik Yod Mem and Sadikim, the righteous ones. Yesharu, they inherit. Prefix with the Yod. Incidentally, when you have a root that begins with a Yod, it's always kind of hard to watch out that this is not working as a prefix person indicator, but it is the root. Okay, Yerush, Yeresh. Okay, Yod Resh Shin is the root. This one's a plural, and it's a prefix by this first Yod here with the Yod Hirik, and then at the number or it's plural via the Surik. So Yesharu, they inherit. Matech right here. And why would you have a matech? When you have a matech, you force the pronunciation of the vowel points. So if you didn't have a matech, you'd be go yer shu. Okay, but put a matech in here, you force the pronunciation of the first syllable. Yeah. Then you go, and then if that one's been pronounced separately, then this one's been pronounced separately. Yereshu, reshu. Okay? Matech separates out these two syllables and forces you to pronounce the vowel pointing of both of them. If you didn't have it, the tendency to take this one as a silent shava, but it's a pronounced shava. Yesharu, aretz. Then we have, incidentally, when you have a makef, the accenting is pushed over, and so if the accenting has all been pushed out of the first part of the connected sequence here, you say, well, what happened to this? Is not really an accent. All it does is separate out the syllables. So don't think of it as an accent. Just think of it as a little hatchet in the middle of the thing there, keeping these two syllables separately. So Yesharu, and they inherit. Aretz, okay, nice aretz. Incidentally, the pausal form of the aretz here. If it was just straight eretz, you'd have the double segolate. But since you have a nice atna here, pumps it up to a aretz. It's the earth. They inherit the earth. Ve'yish, okay. Okay, here we have what I'm mentioning here. This thing here is actually the top of a llama that comes from the next line. It's not a metech. So here you have ve yish, and here the yod shin. That shava, it will be silent. Okay, yish ke. And whenever you see a shava, especially a shava underneath a letter that has a dagish in it, dagish forte here, you're going to be pronouncing it because it's going to, it might not be used to close off a syllable. It's going to be used to open a syllable. So when you're opening a syllable, you're going to be, it's going to make the cuff, a nice hard cough, and then it's also going to be pronouncing this schwa as the beginning of the next syllable. So, okay. But yishkanu, okay, and they inhabit. We've seen the shakan as in the previous verse in the singular form. Here we see it in the plural form with the surik on the end. And think of it as part of Shekinah, okay? The Jehovah lives, the habitation of Jehovah. And so this is Shekinah. They live, they dwell. Le'ad, until forever. Incidentally, I said that our section is dedicated to Ayin, even though the Ayin is into this word here behind the Lamed. It's here again and here again. So le'ad. Incidentally, these two are very much in parallel. This is forever, and this is also forever. And if you want to emphasize it, then you'll find it quite often in the scripture that they'll say ad olam, forever, forever. And you might start thinking of this as a prepositional form of ad, but it's forever, forever, ad olam. So here, to forever, aliyah. Okay, this is on it. Preposition here on top of or upon, and then suffixed pronoun here of ha, on it. And the reference or the antecedent of this one is going to be aretz. Okay, so you've got to look back as the where does this pronoun connects with this thing right here. It's on it. Incidentally, this is very close to something that works within modern Hebrew and modern Jewish or modern Israeli culture, and that is aliyah, on to it or up to it, which in modern Hebrew it is the immigration. And I can still remember walking through Jerusalem and chatting with people as I'm going, and they would say, "Oh, when did you do aliyah?" And I go, "Well, yeah, I just did." And I sort of think back as to when I got in there, and I say, "Oh, yeah, a couple months ago or something." And but it really wasn't the truth. I hadn't immigrated permanently to Jerusalem. As just for a short time, actually, a month or 2 months. The longest I've spent there was about a couple semesters. So it wasn't a true aliyah. I was misrepresenting myself, I would say, when I said, "Oh yeah, I did aliyah." But the concept's there. You go up towards something, and you commit yourself to it, and you make. When you do aliyah in Israel, you've done immigration. You've done the whole process of becoming an Israeli citizen and so forth. I simply was there as a visitor, so for me to say, "Oh, I'd done aliyah," was not exactly right. So anyway, but it was kind of fun having people think that I had done that. It was kind of an interesting scenario. Well, what about it? Do we do aliyah? And of course, the psalmist here is, we're going to live, forever. We're being guarded forever. Who's going to guard us forever? Jehovah, of course, is the subject of the previous verse here, verse 28. He is the one that guards us. He's the one that cares for us. He's the one that cuts off the evil ones. And he is the one that makes us inherit the land. And incidentally, this Yaroshu is something we're seeing quite a few times in our verse. And Jesus even promises it in his Sermon on the Mount, the meek shall inherit the earth. And so we inherit the earth when we are the children of God. So this is very true. And we inherit it forever and forever and forever. And so you see olam and ad olam and le'ad. This is a long time. We certainly have the privilege of inheriting this for eternity. So God bless and God care for you in this day. Until the next time.